We're back with Formula One again, and today we're going to be discussing all the shenanigans in the McLaren team and the way they've handled the team orders, prioritizing team orders over driver competitiveness, especially against Oscar Piastri. We need to discuss that and many more. Is Mustafa Jinodo? I'm still Afolabi.
Yeah, I've seen this happen before, but a lot of people are pointing out that the radio calls Lando and they consult Lando. They're saying that they asked him, they actually consulted him. They said, do you think we should pit you first or Piastri first? I think they wanted to pit Piastri first so that he wouldn't get undercut by Leclerc. And they were coming to him and he's like, yeah, no, no, no. He said no. So now this is not the first time this has happened. I've seen this happen in some other races where Lando Norris and the team will be discussing the strategy. And a lot of the times it's just because he's the lead driver, it's in situations in which it's probably better to do the strategy of Piastri, but then they cater to Norris. But I don't see them asking Piastri questions like that when he's in command. This is very strange that they come to him and they say, "Would you mind? Would you consider giving Piastri a switch up with him, or I mean, let him stop first?" And Norris said no. Norris is controlling the pit stops now. He's controlling the strategy for him to win, and you're putting all of this control in one person. It's no wonder that this team is falling apart, and it's sending a stark message to Piastri. Piastri has built such a big lead. He was leading Verstappen by 100. And ever since they started undermining him, he's now almost down to 60 something, his lead on Verstappen. They've sent a clear picture to Piastri that even if he wins the title this year, he is not their driver. Their man is Lando Norris. What are your thoughts on that situation, Mr. Afolabi?
Yeah, basically, it looks very odd to me. The team wanted Piastri to pit early to protect him from an undercut by Leclerc, but Norris haven't been very atrociously poor at pitting. He said, "Yep, no, it was tentative. I would not."
Yeah,
It was a very funny request to him because Norris' refusal was influenced by frustration over his previous slow pit stops. But
yeah,
this is a very strange one because traditionally, I feel strategic priority was being undermined because in most title fights, the leading driver has given clear strategic preference. Not in this case. So the McLaren decision looks very stupid to me. McLaren's hesitation broke this convention at a very, very critical point in the race. And I find it very, very, very
yeah.
obnoxious.
And I don't know how much rode on it because at the end of the day, they I don't think much would have changed. Norris came. What did Norris came? He came third. So Piastri came fourth or fifth. I don't think much counted on it. No, but the thing is that it's clear the sort of that team fawns over McLaren, fawns over Norris. When the car was doing well, because Norris is losing to Piastri, they changed the front geometry so that he could get more feedback because he can't feel grip. And Piastri said, "I don't need all those toys." But he's sitting down watching how much they're catering to this guy, creating toys for him to improve his car, which didn't work because he's not getting the feedback. He didn't get the feedback in Monaco. He didn't get it at Monza. He didn't get it at Singapore. The so-called feedback he's looking for. So it seems like they're bending over backwards for Norris. They feel some sort of loyalty to him, but it's very bad and it's costing them the championship. Now that call that they did with him on the radio, I've heard it tons of times where they go to him and he's dictating the strategy and everything. And going back to my first point, their best chance to win a championship this year is Piastri. He was leading by a lot. He should have been made the number one driver by now, or they should never be bringing in team orders like saying because we had a bad pit stop, change places with him. If you're not going to favor any driver, stop manipulating this tournament, this competition like this. Stop it. What are your thoughts, Fabi? Yeah.
Basically, what I feel is that um, there's no authority at the pit wall. Asking Norris whether Piastri could pit first was an unusual and a very weak move from the team. Instead of issuing a very, very firm and decisive instruction,
Yeah,
the pit,
they do that. They
yes,
just do
the
that.
pit wall basically handed tactical control to a driver in the middle of the race. Now they have undermined their own strategy structure. and the
Yeah.
drivers are upset, and it's beginning to affect the chemistry and the camaraderie and teamwork and control in the team. Now, with both cars close on the track, clear pit sequence is essential to avoid the loss of time. Now, if you look at McLaren's indecision, it limited the ability to use split strategies to control the race. Something top teams like Red Bull or Mercedes will execute with precision. So they seem to be confused, and it's going to affect them because right now the drivers themselves are not in sync, and
No.
they're clearly upset with the team orders, and they
Yeah.
continue to take points off themselves. And you never know. You never know. No lead is
Verstappen may come
unassailable.
back and
No
win.
lead is
Let me tell you.
unassailable. No lead is unassailable.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. If Piastri and Norris are in the front grid next week in the next race, something's going to happen. There's going to be a collision. I see it already happening because Piastri now has checked out. He's checked out from the team emotionally. He's angry, and something's going to happen. And Norris is stupid enough to try something stupid like trying to pass Piastri. And when he had the DNF, something's going to happen, and they're going to lose tons of points in the next couple of weeks. And they'll be staring at Verstappen right at their back. Meanwhile, you have two drivers. They're not afraid of Verstappen. They're afraid of each other. So my argument is that Norris and Piastri aren't afraid of Verstappen. They're afraid of each other. But because they're driving with fear, and also they're afraid of, this is my opportunity. You know, you're a young man in your 20s, and you're in the middle of a championship run. So they have nerves. Their nerves are going to cause them to make a lot of mistakes, which will bring Verstappen close to catching them. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're nervous. And that's where the team's supposed to come in. You're supposed to have a strong, authoritative team that can handle. You're not supposed to have the team ask a 27-year-old Butler what he wants to do. You're supposed to say, okay, Lando, this is what we're going to do. Then if Lando refuses, you can dance around it. But at first say, Lando, we need you to pit first. Is that, don't even say, is that okay? Just say, we need you to pit first. But this goes back to Norris, to Piastri. When they told Piastri to give that place back when he was leading, remember he said, oh, it's only 3 points. It's only a 6-point swing. He should never have let Norris pass him after the bad pit stop. I'm disappointed with Piastri on that. What are your thoughts, Afolabi? Then we head out.
Yes. I quite agree with what you're saying. And if you look at it, now they have disrupted the championship rhythm. There's no rhythm again.
No.
There's inconsistency in the strategic decisions. And for a young contender like Piastri, it can affect his confidence, his aggression, his competitiveness, and overall his performance trajectory is going to be affected. Now, if McLaren doesn't regain control, they risk splitting points and losing tactical sharpness, especially handling the momentum to their rivals, especially with Max Verstappen locking around.
If Verstappen finishes ahead of them at COTA, the race of the Americas, I don't care how many points he gains. If he finishes ahead of both of them or even one of them, they have a big problem. Last words, Afolabi.
Yeah, so Piastri has already experienced a lot of costly pit stops, and he himself is weary. So I don't think they will give him any kind of bullshit or the others, and he will just adhere to it. Especially
but you know
Monza.
what? At some point, they're going to need to use strategy, and they don't know how to do strategy.
Yeah, you know what happened in Monza concerning pit stops, and especially in Singapore as well. So he sees, listening to their orders, he sees it as making him vulnerable.
So, he's just going to clear it up his way. Now he's by himself. And let me tell you, Lando Norris does not have the courage to meet the situation and beat Piastri, which is why I say that if Piastri doesn't win, Verstappen will. That's my prediction. It's either Piastri or Verstappen. Because what will happen is Lando Norris is going to continue. He's up and down. He'll have one good race, then he'll crash. So, and my thing is that, but Piastri himself doesn't have the support of the team.
Yeah.
So what Piastri needs to do now,
exactly.
he's alienated from the team.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm predicting that Verstappen may very well beat these guys. But I'm going to predict that Piastri is going to win this title, but it's going to be very close. But he's going to win because he has speed. And I don't think Lando Norris has the courage or the audacity to step forward.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
It's not so much as how good Piastri is, it's how lame Norris is. Last thoughts, I thought you take us out.
Yeah, because a driver that is fighting for the championship has to trust his team that they will always give him the best strategy available. But that trust now has been eroded. And I
Oh
feel
yeah.
it has made McLaren, very, very much like individuals in terms of their drivers and not a team. And it's on that note that we round up this very
Hopefully that's how South Africa will play today.
as individuals instead of a team.
They're not watching our watch out, so they won't know that we're insulting them. All right, take us out of Bobby. Nice one.
Okay, it's been another brilliant Formula One show. We've been discussing how the team owners of McLaren have made their drivers vulnerable, especially Piastri, who's gone in for the title. And from Mustafa and myself, we'll be back again with Formula One, maybe tomorrow or the weekend.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow evening. Good one. Nice one.
All right, sure.